Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to today's pick a card reading. His current thoughts, everyone's favourite. Of course, it can be her current thoughts as well. Guys, I hope you're doing great today. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell if you want to be notified of future uploads. Also, if you don't mind checking out the website, if you want any more information, you can get everything on there. It's ksabbott.com. And so it replaces my other websites. Those of you who've known me from my other websites, puts everything under one. So my books are on there, my courses are on there, the tarot course is on there. Everything is in one place now, which is a lot easier. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me know what you think of it. Today's reading is intuitive, it's general, so some of the messages might not resonate. If they don't, just take what does, leave what doesn't. Yeah, without further ado, let's have a look. Oh, of course, if you want a private reading, you can now book on the website. It's right there on the shop page, or you can check the description below anyway, and it will explain to you what to do. Right, let's get on. Why am I moving group one? I'm crazy. Here we go. Hi, group one. Okay, so his current thoughts, or her current thoughts. Page of Cups, Five of Wands, Ace of Swords, Wheel of Fortune. Go with the flow, throat chakra. Okay. This person is still trying to completely understand how they feel, be honest with themselves. You know, I think they're still struggling with some low vibe energy. They're having to face some truth. You see, we've got the Ace of Swords and the throat chakra. This is about truth. It's about speaking your truth. It's about authenticity. It's about honesty. It's about being able to really come from the heart and soul and face some truths that set you free. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here. So this person is hoping for support, hoping, you know, this person may be spiritual and may be hoping that the universe will come in and help them. Or it could be that that they're just hoping that luck will go their way. If they're not particularly spiritual, that might be the way that they're looking at it. What I do see is that they are being guided to get on the path. You see, go with the flow. So their current thoughts are that they want to be authentic. That's what I'm feeling. But the reason I'm just kind of feeling around here is there's some conflict here. They could be going through a bit of an awakening or a bit of a mini dark night of the soul, or maybe not such a mini. But I think on the whole, this person's not necessarily going through massive trauma. There may be one or two of you that's not the case, that they are. But I think it's more that this person's going through a bit of a growth spurt, you know, in emotionally and spiritually speaking. Because the Page of Cups is the opening card. So this person is being given some opportunity to really delve into themselves emotionally, spiritually, to have a new opportunity to sort of dream a big dream and to become a bit more of a dreamer, to be a bit more magical, to be a bit more investigative, to have a bit more of an open mind. What they're saying is there's two different groups here. Right. So the first set of you, this person is becoming more like this. They are being invited to be more like this. Okay? The other group of you, your person, is already too much like this. This could be someone who is a daydreamer, a fantasy thinker. This is someone who's a bit of a Peter Pan, you know, someone who just dreams but never takes any action. Yeah, so it's one or the other, but either way, it's the key to this person's thoughts at the minute. The key to they're being guided. They keep taking me back to the fact that this is an explanation for you about how they're being guided. So this is important for you to hear for whatever reason. So their current thoughts are either becoming more magical or are being shifted away from being so Peter Pan-like or idealistic, depending on which group you fall into. So they've had a lot of conflict in their mind. Five of Wands, they've had a lot of conflict, issues within themselves. They can't make their mind up about things. They feel conflicted. They've got lots of different opinions and ideas and they don't know what to do. They're getting a hit of truth through whatever this Page of Cups means. So either from being more realistic or a lot less realistic, depending on which group they fall into. But this is bringing them a sense of truth. So they are waking up to something, and this is getting them in the flow. So if they've been far too idealistic, then being a bit more real gets them back in the flow with the universe. Now, I think some of you may be surprised by that because there's this kind of illusion in the sort of spiritual community that the more magical we become, the more, let's just say magical for want of a better word. The more magical we become, the more that this will somehow make us more likely to manifest and achieve. Well, we were given our intellect and our common sense, etc., for a reason, and so it's always a balance. So we can go too far the other way and be too emotional in our thinking or too idealistic in our thinking, and this is when we get things like this with the Ace of Swords coming in, bringing in a hit of truth. The throat chakra saying, you need to be authentic. Listen to what your authentic inner voice is telling you. So their current thoughts are that they're shifting this Page of Cups energy. They're either bringing in more bringing in more fantasy thinking or leaving it behind. Either way, it's dealing with this conflict that they've got going on. You know what conflict I'm talking about. This inner battle they've got going on. They're coming to some sort of truth which is taking them on their path, Wheel of Fortune, to go with the flow, to get in the flow of life, to get in flow with the universe. So this is where they're at. I know that was slightly complicated, but I hope I explained it okay. Loads of love, guys. I'll see you on the next reading or on a private reading in the meantime. See you soon, guys. Don't forget to check out the website. Hi, Group 2. How are you doing? I hope you're great. So like I said at the beginning, if you didn't catch it, if you would check out the website, that would be great. Everything's in one place now. Readings, courses, books, everything. ksabbott.com. Anyway. Hi, Group 2. Here we go. So, his current thoughts, or her current thoughts. 8 of Swords, Knight of Swords, 8 of Coins, Queen of Wands. Make no judgments. The Empress. This is interesting. So, this, I feel, is you. Because we've got this double feminine energy. Or it could be a same-sex relationship. In which case, this could be either of you, but both of you, if that makes sense. The point is here, it doesn't really matter whether one of these is them or not. This is the way they're seeing you, which is this feminine, powerful, risen energy. Yeah? So their current thoughts about you are very, very good. They see you as powerful, the light, and they see you as being very empowered at the moment, being self-actualized, taking action on your life, being very creative, doing what you want to do, which they are finding, well, they're finding both empowering, but also it's freaking them out a bit. And this is not a good reason to change it. In fact, that will be the worst thing to do. You absolutely mustn't stop being your total empowered self just because it intimidates them. But the thing is, the make no judgments is like saying the way you're looking at this is not right. So they're seeing you very powerfully, but this is actually intimidating them because we've got the 8 of Swords. So the current thoughts are that you're fantastic and they're rubbish in a way. I feel that for the majority of you. I know some of you, I said that this was one of you and that one of these was one of you and one the other, so this was you and that was them. Right. I just want to clarify that because they're saying I wasn't clear there. So I'm just going to make it clearer. This could indicate a same-sex relationship, but that's as far as that goes in terms of the two different people. Once we've established that, for some of you, you were wanting confirmation that you'd chosen the right deck and you're in a same-sex relationship. So that's that. But beyond that, we're talking about you here. Okay, so it's almost like it has two or three meanings, this placement of cards. Because if we were to continue and say, well, this is them, this would say, well, they're feeling empowered, they're feeling strong, they're feeling like they can bring in this new situation. No, they're not. No, they're not. They're feeling, this is more their energy, the Knight of Swords. They're feeling intimidated. They're up in their own head. They're very sword-based. They're very fear and mind-based at the minute. They've got a lot of fears. They're all in their own head. They're self-made issues. You know, so they're their own thoughts about the situation. And what it feels to me like they've got you on a pedestal. You know, they feel like you've developed beyond them and that they can't reach you now. They've got self-esteem issues. The Knight of Swords may indicate that with the make no judgments, yes, they're saying yes. With the make no judgments, the Knight of Swords indicates that they maybe judged you too soon. They maybe underestimated what you were capable of. They may have done something rash recently that they now regret, because this is the Knight of Swords all over. You know, so their current thoughts are that they're a bit freaked out, or they're fed up, or they're some sort of negative mental energy. So for some of you, it's that they're depressed, some of them are anxious, some of them are stressed, some of them are angry. But it all comes back to the same thing, which is the spiritual fear. You know, that they're afraid, that they feel like they rushed in too quickly over something. And now they feel like they maybe made the wrong judgment of you and or the situation. You've developed beyond. I get the feeling for the majority of you that you guys aren't together and that maybe he or she underestimated you. If you are together, it could be this sense that you are, you know, that they feel intimidated by your ability to kind of grow. You could have done better at work recently, or, you know, you could be just going through a sense of personal development, and they feel they're concerned about, you know, where that leaves them, or if they're not as good as you, or that they might lose you or something like that. Now, there's absolutely no need or requirement for you to dull your sparkle in any way because of that. But it may be helpful for you to know if you are in a relationship and you have been feeling lately like this person, that your person is feeling a bit intimidated or down, then maybe there could be some encouragement you could give him or her. But then if this is someone that you're not with and they're going through their own evolution, then maybe it may be best to let them do that themselves. Because if you try, sometimes although it's difficult to hear, what I'm feeling from this is that if you try to help them, they may feel even more disempowered, you know, rather than just letting them find their own way. That's what they need. It could be that if you try to help them, it makes them feel even more like, you know better than them. But their current thoughts about you are marvelous. The issue at the moment is their current thoughts about themselves, which is that they were rash, they were impulsive, and now they are regretting or bothered by their own thoughts about the situation and probably regretting what they did. Yep. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Loads of love. I'll see you on the next reading or in a private reading in the meantime. See you soon, guys. Hi, Group 3. How are you doing? Hope you're great. So we got the Four of Swords, the Eight of Wands. Oh, it's his current thoughts or hers. Death and the Empress. Don't worry, this is an actual death for anyone who is new to tarot. Have faith. Eight of Swords. This person's current thoughts. Okay, so this person is going through some sort of awakening or change. Okay. You see, we've got the Four of Swords as the first card. So this is recovery. This is meditation, spiritual rest, recalibration, reconnection with self. Like I say, it's recovery after the Three of Swords, which is that heartbreak and loss energy. So, yeah, this person, their current thoughts are that they want to recover. Eight of Wands, they want to move forwards. They've been stuck for a while and they're ready to move on. Okay, now this could be on from you or to you. It's going to depend on your personal circumstances. You won't need me to tell you that. You already know. So just, if there are any confusions there, listen to your intuition. The guides will chime in right now and tell you. Okay. But yeah, so they're in recovery. They felt Eight of Swords, helpless and hopeless for quite a long time, but this is changing. This feeling of not knowing what to do, feeling stuck, feeling worried, feeling anxious. It was all self-inflicted. It was all self-inflicted. That the issue was in their mind, not in reality. And they're starting to see that. Four of Swords, they're in recovery. Eight of Wands, they want to move forwards. They want to move towards better things. Like I say, if you've been waiting for this person to kind of get out of a phone call, wake up to something and move on, then I can definitely see this happening, because this is like a sudden movement towards goals. A sudden inspiration that shifts everything forwards. And this is this have faith, you see. This person has connected on a new level to themselves and to the universe. It depends. They will all be at different levels of their own personal evolution and their own personal story, but they're having an increased connection with the universe, God, guides, angels, whatever you want to call this connection that they've got. But it's increasing their faith, it's increasing their understanding, it's increasing their awareness, it's making them more open. And what this is causing is a mini death in their life, which is great. This is what we want to see. An ending that allows for the new beginning. And look what's coming, the Empress. This is the birthing of a new situation. This is the Divine Feminine. So we may be talking about a woman here. We don't have to be. And this is telling me that this person is, their thoughts are that they are recovered, that they are massively along the road to recovery. They're leaving behind this old helpless and hopeless energy. They're moving forwards. They've got more faith. They are accepting this ending. So if you want to know whether they have accepted the ending or not, then yes, they are accepting the ending. They're accepting it. They don't, they're all right with it now. They're like, yep, okay. The ending's here, fine. And they are moving on to the Empress, which is this empowered new beginning, birthing a new situation, abundance. There's this abundance of positive energy. It might be financial, but it's much more likely emotional, spiritual. They feel more directed. They feel more able to take some action in their life. They feel much more open to receiving goodness into their life. So this person is basically getting more on track. So their current thoughts are that they're feeling so much better because they are more connected to themselves. They've gone into recovery. They're not so up in their head. They're much more in their heart and soul. And they're accepting whatever it was that was ending. They're accepting that. And that's what's helping them move forwards. Okay, guys, I hope this makes sense. Loads of love. I'll speak to you on the next reading or in a private reading in the meantime. See you soon. Okay, hi group 4. So his current thoughts or her current thoughts. So we've got the Devil in reverse. We've got the Page of Swords. We've got the Seven of Coins, Knight of Coins, seek hidden treasure, refusing to see. Oh, this person is thinking a lot. Page of Swords. In my readings, this normally means they're having ideas or a good idea, but it can also mean lots of ideas. The Seven of Coins is a reflective energy. It's thinking about things. Refusing to see, this is about thinking and not being able to make choices. So this person is thinking a lot. And it's because the situation is requiring them to see something differently. Now, you know this. You know what I'm talking about because you know your situation. They've got to allow this new way of looking at things, but they're refusing to see it at times. However, it's not always that they're refusing to see it. The Seven of Coins is much more like they're looking at the situation and they're starting to think, well, maybe actually this is good for me. But then other times it freaks them out and they don't want to look at it. And other times they think it's a good idea. So do you understand what I'm saying? This person is carouseling around, loads of different thoughts, loads of different ideas. There's something about the situation with you that freaks them out or bothers them. Now I can't be more specific because it's general reading, but you've been drawn to this because, you know, you resonate with that probably. And there's something about the relationship or the connection, whether it's romantic or not, that is bothering this person somehow. They're having to look at their life and think, well, what is working for me and what isn't? What is this teaching me? Do I want to go on a different road? That's 7 of coins. Do I want to go on a different road? Do I want to stay on the road I'm on? Do I want to go on a different one? Page of Swords. You know, this seems like a good idea. But 2 of Swords, I'm helpless to know what to do. I don't really know what's the right decision. This person is like classic, is at a fork in the road and doesn't know what to do. That said, even though they are still confused about what to do about you and the situation, the Devil in reverse, for me, this is liberation. This is liberation. So they have been liberated from a position. Now, they may not have actually followed through on that. So, for example, you may have a classic example for this group, and at least half of you, I would imagine, fall into this group. This person is in a relationship. They've met you, and this has liberated them in some way. So they could be in an abusive relationship, or they could be in an unfulfilling relationship. They've met you, and this has made them turned their attachment and their ego attachment, their pain, their trappedness, their suffering, their whatever, on its head, quite literally. And it's helping to liberate them. But of course, what is that doing? It's causing overthinking, uncertainty about what to do, an element of trauma, but necessary, you know, because, you know, some spiritual awakening is not all fluffy and sweet. It's often gritty and painful. And, you know, I mean, we don't have to go through pain to grow and awaken, but often we do, you know. Seek hidden treasure means this person, it feels that's why I said what I just said, because seek hidden treasure in its most basic form, this card is saying you need to look at a situation that you don't like differently, because there's more to it. That's what they're saying. There's more to it. So this person feels like this situation is not unpleasant, but it's not great for them. It's not great for them. It's making them feel confused, tumultuous inside. It's shaking things up. It's giving them a lot of overthinking. It could be making them suspicious. It could be making them fretful. They may be spying on you, watching you from afar, watching you on social media. You know, this person is kind of like full of angst over the situation. But it's liberating them from a position that they need to shift from. That's why it's hidden treasure, because it's liberating them. But at the minute, they're refusing to see. Most of them are still feeling afraid by the situation. But it's an opportunity, Knight of Coins, for them to learn. They are learning. You know, this is the thing to understand with this group. They are learning. They're being liberated. They're thinking about it. And they will learn and move forwards. They're halfway there. So whatever you're hoping for, whether it's a decision, a realization, or whatever, they are thinking about it. They are thinking about what's right for them. And they are halfway there. They're on their way. They're learning. The main thing to understand with this person is that they are liberated, or they are becoming liberated. And that is wonderful. And that is an amazing thing. And that I feel with this Seek Hidden Treasure, at the moment, they're seeing it more as a stressful situation, but eventually they will see it as treasure. They will realize how it's liberated them, and it will help them to move on from this sort of halfway there to fully envisioned, embodied, fully this full transformation of their life. You know, it'll help them move to that stage once they realize the treasure in the situation and realize how much freedom this connection has afforded them. So I hope this makes sense. Loads of love, guys. I'll see you on the next reading, on a private reading. In the meantime, see you soon, guys. Loads of love.